What an absolute slaughter of a week. That's why I wanted to sell my miners. I'm happy I did trim them to very light, but now I wish I'd sold more or even all of it. Why not? If I'm doing a wish list, I might as well have wished that I sold everything. But that's part of the strategy when you're not sure and you've got a long-term core holding and you just sort of swing trade a certain amount of your core. And I sold a lot. So I'm quite happy. But then again, the portfolio got hit, but I knew that. So everything down except the usual suspects. We have the dollar, bonds, volatility, and normally, well, sometimes you can put gold in there, but gold was kind of sideways, which is what it's paid to do. So gold held up quite well as usual. Silver, not as much. All right, let's check it out. Gold, sorry, dollar today. First of all, look at this DXY, 100.5-ish. The last time we hit that was over here. Touched it on that yen carry trade flush. Rebound today. That's quite a decent bounce. Obviously, that's on purpose. Bonds followed. Actually, before I jump to bonds, look at the US dollar, Japanese yen. Remember, I was saying, watch the retest of this. It could coincide with the market sell-off, or it could act as a catalyst for a market sell-off. Well, whatever the case, we have a market sell-off and we're retesting that level, which totally coincides with the DXY level. So this should flush. This should go down, which should put pressure on the DXY. When DXY is holding up okay, we'll see what happens. But you know what? Forget the dollar. If this flushes, maybe that adds a little extra level of flushing to the market. So I'll be honest, markets don't look good. I mean, it's easy to say now, but I was saying it before this week, but still they don't look good. Also because of this US dollar, Japanese yen specifically. So something to keep an eye on. DXY and US dollar, Japanese yen, all the way down here. Could, if the US dollar, Japanese yen goes down, we could see DXY flush this level and then go test 99.5-ish. That's pretty impressive because that's the lowest we've ever had in a long, long time. So yeah. By the way, bonds, same sort of action as the dollar. Look at that. Pretty damn similar. Bouncing also. 30, the 10, pretty identical stuff. The 2, pretty identical. The 2 is trading in line pretty much with the 10. There's your uninversion, right? Everyone says that there's a recession when it inverts. Well, apparently it's when it uninverts, and that's what we've got now. And it looks like it's the beginning of a recession, or at least I think we've been in a recession for 2 years, but a lot more people talking about recession now. So yields coming down, which is an indication of the rate cuts, and the rate cuts. Why are they going to do rate cuts when the stock market's at all-time highs? Because that's really what initiates rate cuts. When you've got the stock market falling, then everyone says, oh, don't worry, they're going to cut rates. Well, here we've got markets doing all-time highs non-stop. And now rate cuts. What if they do 50? Wouldn't that signal total panic? I think it's, I said this too. I feel like when they raised rates finally, end of 20, was it 16? That's when gold hit its bottom at 2050, at 1050, $1,050, and then just went up from there. And likewise, and I've been saying this for 2 weeks, maybe when they finally cut rates, um, counterintuitively, you could have the metals go down. It looks like it's kind of happening. All right, let's look at the actual markets, which I don't always do, but let's be honest, this is an absolute must. Nasdaq slaughtered today, closed at low of day. By the way, Bitcoin is just probably going to keep going down, test 50,000 this weekend, because that's kind of your barometer during the weekend of what to expect on Monday. After hours, got the Nasdaq down more, just down. Basically, I've got this mini support heavy ascending. And if we don't hit that, we're going to hit. If we don't go there, we'll probably bounce here. We'll see. We don't really care too much. But the point is, market down, everything down. We've got all the big stocks down. It's beautiful stuff. Got some banks down, everything down, 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 down. Let's look at gold and silver. So gold, not bad today. I mean, look, at one point we're testing 25.30 in gold. Yes, we go red because as usual, people sell everything to cover, to raise liquidity, to cover some losses, whatever. So gold being down, not even 1% is very impressive. We are definitely outperforming Bitcoin here too. Silver and gold just looks good always. I mean, it can come down like 10% and still look bullish. So I don't even care about gold. Gold is just supreme. Silver, okay, red also because it has to be because gold is. More red than gold, yes, down 3%, not great, but we know that that's what it does. What happens next? Well, first of all, we got this little level here the last 3 days. We touched that, so wait for that to close below that. Might happen on Monday if everything keeps going, which it probably will, because I reckon Bitcoin will go down, and then everyone will take their cue from Bitcoin. Down goes the markets. Obviously, next week is Fed week, so that will really change things. But next level, I would say here, the lows from here, 27.22, that could be really quickly reached. But it's all about this level here, right? 26.50. 26.50. If that fails, we got 26. It's really 50-cent increments. Keep it simple. After that, I don't really see 25.50. I see something more like 24.50, which is really low. What you don't really want is you don't want to lose 26. 26 is a decent line in the sand. Remember, that's the level we couldn't break across for a long time. We retested it after breaching it, which was really perfect candle stuff. I mean, the chart is ideal. Then we went all the way up here. Then we did some back and filling, and we never kept going. We never took out 32.5 after that. So here we are sideways. So let's see what happens. Ultimately, this will be the level to break. You'd really, I mean, look, what might happen is something like this, right? Maybe a little flush or something. Okay, don't know about that. You really want to take this out after you've done this little consolidating stuff over here. Let's see how much of a crash there is. If there's a real crash, then down we go here. Then you've got absolute support. Where will gold be if we're doing that? I don't know. You could have some sort of a boom and then here, something like that, like where you have support coinciding, something like it'll probably coincide with elections if that even happens. And if that happens, you've got Bitcoin, like, I don't know, who cares about Bitcoin, right? But below 40,000 or something. So relatively speaking, we'll be doing very well. The miners, which is what we really care about, they will do, as we know, they will do badly. So, and you can already see, compared to gold, like gold really is all the way up here at the moment. Silver is kind of where the miners are, but we have this ascending. That's cool. You can see this little level here. That should be nice. And if that fails, then we've got this level here, which is pretty much the same thing. So you could have one of those things where one of those days or weeks where we go down here, we test 41 GDXJ, and then you close up here within the ascending on a daily, actually. That could make for a nice rebound. Because look at this move from over here, this yen carry trade recovery, just so violent. That's why I was selling on the way up. I was selling the gap fill. I never thought it'd get up here, and I kept selling. And now where are we? Now, although this is really messy at the moment, we're down 12%. It's quite a bit. And it's quite fast. It's just as fast to move up. So let me get rid of some of this stuff here. But you know what I mean? That's a big move down. I think we're going to get some support. There will be a bounce day next week. Will it coincide with the Fed? Probably. You'll get a massive swing either way. It's probably worth day trading. SILJ, same sort of ascending support. And again, if you lose this, well, this is quite far away, but if you imagine you're testing this, let's call it 1070 or something, 5% low, which is one entire level. The way I see it, every 5% move is like a level, whether you're looking at the miners, an individual stock, or even gold. Yeah, you got another level here, basically $10 on silver. And by then you probably got silver hitting some 50-cent level lower. So silver, you have support at the ascending, and then you have the horizontal just below. So you do have also the same thing there. GDX, which is outperforming everything as usual. We know the seniors are just far better on the way up and definitely on the way down. So we've got a little horizontal, which coincides with ascending. So lots of support, let's call it between 35.50 and 36, if I can say that. Yeah, especially 35.50. If you lose 35.50, like close below it in an obvious way, like 35.39, then you may find yourself going to 34, which is 4% lower. And to be honest, 4% drop in GDX is probably the same as 5% drop in GDXJ or SILJ. So that makes sense too. They'll all sort of coincide, I reckon. So those are your levels. You're pretty damn close now, GDX. So buying now at the close would have been the same as as buying the 36 to 35.50, to be honest. But I didn't buy much at all. I did the smallest nibbles. It's nothing worth mentioning. It's just to make sure that my the seniors are worth the minimum holding, because I made them so light that they were just worth so little on the way down, because they're losing value on the way down, that I just wanted to make sure they're worth the minimum. So it was just little like 2% ads, here, there, Wheaton, Newmont, Barrick Gold, to the point where I wasn't even looking at the technicals, and I was just nibbling in to make sure they're the minimum. But if I do add a decent amount, it'll be based on these levels, and we're very close. Let's look real quick at some of them. Or should I actually do one of those, a more serious, I feel like doing a more serious market update, like portfolio update, because this is very serious. I don't want to run through this quickly. It's almost 1 in the morning, and I don't really want to do this in a blasé way. But you can see portfolio smash. Now, I like to see this because I've got a light amount as opposed to what I usually have. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had heavy holdings in this, so I'm so happy it's light. And now looking at this top and the move down, it's so obvious. But when you're here, you're looking at the next breakout, and then you're looking, oh my God, we're gonna go all the way up here. Why have I got light holdings? Now I'm so happy that I did that. One thing I'll say, I actually bought, nothing to do with gold miners, CCJ, Cameco. That's my first uranium miner. I wanted to have it for ages. If you guys were following me when I started this channel, I was talking about wanting to be in this, and I just let it go. And I was fighting as much as possible, just resisting buying this move, and finally it's come back down. I still think it can come back down to 32, because this seems to go down with the markets more than the gold and silver miners at the moment. And this is the senior best of the best. So I thought might as well enter here and see if we can go down to 32. But otherwise, look, I'll cover the portfolio during the weekend, tomorrow or Sunday. I want to make a serious attempt to cover every miner, because this is big stuff. And this is where you can really make your money. I feel like I've said it before, making money on the way up, that's cool, and you are definitely making money. But to be able to trim, and that's why I keep trimming, keep talking about trims, keep doing little 2% cuts out, because especially if you don't buy back, if you do have a market drop, imagine just the most amount of money you've ever had in your portfolio, and having that much money on the sidelines to go in at the lows. That's it. Like, you can retire. I don't even care how much money you've got. You can make life change, career changing profits. So, we could be on the precipice of such an event where market crashes, GDX goes down 10, 20, 30%. I don't even know if that's going to happen. I haven't even thought about it, but it could happen. And if you can buy that, and by the way, I'm going to be adding to seniors on the way down. On the way up, I might do a little bit of, silver junior. And when I say juniors, I mean the mid tiers, the hecklers, the EXKs, the CDEs, the really high speculative ones. Juniors, I'm finished with that. But I've been playing around with that for like a decade. Doesn't work. You need to like be connected in the industry, know inside information, get lucky, or just follow it every day like a maniac to actually make it. And it's just, there's no point. But the seniors, definitely there's a strategy to win there. It's low risk, decent reward, dividends is nice. And the medium tiers, the ones that I hold, the ones that I consider speculative, you can make great returns in that. Like, look, EXK, just EXK, right? That's crazy. This is just a few months ago. Do you know what I mean? You've just gone from 150 all the way up to 5. This is like an altcoin in the crypto universe, all the way back down. And I'm trimming on the way up, trimming, feeling like an idiot trimming, but trimming. And then bam, bad news, the usual stuff you get. Would this happen in Newmont? Would Newmont go down from 5 to 250, cut in half? No. You know, I know SSRM got it done through a mudslide in Turkey, but I'm talking about a Agnico Eagle. That's not going to happen to Agnico. So I feel like just picking on EXK, right? What's going to happen to EXK? We're going to go down, we're going to test this, we may even flush to a new level, right? For example, then it sort of, you might have the market go down a bit more, but then EXK stops going down. That'll be my sort of, okay, it's time to enter. I go in pretty hard, and I always kind of get the bottom to some degree. For some reason, I'm quite good at that. Then we start to move up. I trim half of what I bought. This is probably what's going to happen. Then it keeps going. I sell like the second last batch, and then the last batch, I'm all out here, and then the rest is the core position I currently hold now. And then I made a lot of money. And what I'm going to do is just get out and then just put a I'm going to have a very small holding in EXK, like half of what I've currently got. And I just want the rest to be in the seniors. I'm kind of done holding a decent amount in these speculative ones. So anyway, I'll discuss that during the weekend video when I cover the minors in more details, cover all the levels on the way down, on the way up, in case we get some surprise from the Fed where it's like 50 basis point. I'm wondering whether the market goes down if it's 50 basis points. Maybe they just get scared. Maybe they just react like, oh my God, inflation is here and it's going to go crazy. Maybe gold loves it and the miners love it. Maybe the miners are the only sector or one of the only sectors to actually rally. We'll see. We'll let the charts help, but I'm going to chart every single miner you see here. So anyway, have a good weekend. I will do a video in 1 or 2 days, but it's going to be fireworks in every sector. So it's kind of exciting.